hip hop,
Yeah,
hip hop, hip
bars
hop,
is back.
hip hop,
Sam
hip
and
hop,
oh
hip
God,
hop.
what's
Hip
up with you?
Cats.
Hip Hop Uncensored is the vibe, so subscribe. Hip Hop Uncensored is the vibe, so subscribe. Oh God, driving Sam and riding passenger side, and you heard it out the mouth of the greatest rapper alive. Hip Hop Uncensored is the vibe, so subscribe. Hip Hop Uncensored is the vibe, so subscribe. Oh God, driving Sam and riding passenger side, and you heard it out the mouth of the greatest rapper alive.
You know, I think when Nip passed, he had the Benz truck. Black Sam had the Benz truck. Ant Dog had the BMW. Krusty had a BMW. Black Sam bought all his different workers BMWs. I had the Audi A7. You know, we had $1 million worth of cars in the parking lot. Like, we had to tell the employees, y'all got to start parking around the corner because we got too many cars and the customers can't park. You know what I mean? So Nipsey put us up on them foreign whips. You know, I was so happy when I got me this old ass little 420 Benz. I couldn't wait to roll up on Nip. Someone got me a foreign whip. You know, I got me a little Cuban chain. I like, look, Nip, look at my little chain. You know, he laughed at my little chain and shit. You know, I thought I was the man though. You know, we would try to keep up with Nip. You know, he made me step my game up.
For sure. Indeed. So unfortunately, 3 years ago, March 31st, 2019, we were sitting in our cribs in New Jersey on our way to do the podcast. We just started and got the unfortunate news that Nipsey had passed away. And when we started the podcast, we had a list of names that we had envisioned on having on the show, and his name was one of them. And it crushed us to our core. But we didn't know that, brother. We weren't there. We never had an intimate relationship the way you had. And we give our deepest condolences to you still on this day, grieving the way I'm sure you are. Can you give us to the best of your abilities just the atmosphere in that day, the dude's atmosphere? Did it seem like anything was growing? Did anything kind of jump up on you to make you feel like something was off that day? Can you give us your best recollection of what happened that day?
I mean, the day was going good. It was a normal day, you know. Nip would pull up like he normally does, so it was a great day. You know, I sat there, we talked the whole time. Just tell him how proud I was of him. You know, I was telling him like, man, I'm so proud of you. You know, you finally made it. You know, 'cause I've been watching his career and we always talk, and I was like, man, you finally made it. You know, he finally had a lot of time on his hands. You know, him and Lauren London, they be riding a motorcycle up and down Slauson. Like I said, that day was a good day. It was a normal day. You know, he was out there signing autographs. You know, doing what he normally do. I wouldn't say nothing felt off about that day, but when the dude rolled up, I did have a type of something about his character, his demeanor, something about him threw me off. But at the time, I couldn't figure it out. I didn't know why I felt that way about. Cause when he pulled up and he got out the car, you know, just looking at him, and you know, you just want to sock somebody. And I don't know why I wanted to do that. You know what I mean? At the time, as I look back, I don't know why. For some reason, I just wanted to hit the dude. You know, that split second, I thought about hitting him, and I didn't know. I looked up the guy like, then why? You know, as time goes on, I regret that I didn't do nothing. You know, it's like one of those things that you didn't react. And now, you know, so I can honestly say I did feel something, but I just couldn't figure out what I was feeling or why I was feeling it.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm sure everybody's probably seen you go before the court and all that. It was like transcripts out there. So if you can kind of just walk us through, it was a lot of speculation about the conversation that him and Nipsey had if you were around. Could you take us back to what the conversation was? Because a lot of people thought maybe it was contentious. Some people said maybe he called him a snitch. Could you kind of clear that up for us if you may?
Well, number one, he never called him a snitch. You know, He never did that. He brought it to his attention that they had paperwork on him. So he did it in a friendly manner. You know, Nipsey never disrespected the man.
Wow.
Like I said, if Nipsey would have disrespected, if Nipsey would have raised his voice, that would have activated me. Hold up. You know, that's the artist. That's the headliner. This is his establishment. I work for this man. if he raised his voice, automatic, hey, come on, bro, it's time to go. You know, I know Nipsey, I know the stupid nigga stupid cuz. I know both of them. So it's not like, you know, if Nip they had a problem, I would have escorted him right out the parking lot. So judging by the conversation, man, it's no way in the world that, I mean, I think this shit over and over in my head. There's no way in the world that I would think that this dumb nigga would do that dumb shit. It was nothing disrespectful said to that man, not one time. You know, Nip hadn't seen him in a while, and he was telling me, like, look, bro, I ain't seen you in a while. They got some paperwork on you. I have not read the paperwork, but you need to go ahead and take care of it. He didn't go in and say, oh, nigga, you's a snitch. He didn't do none of that. It was nothing heated about the conversation. As you see, the dude shook my hand. He shook Nipsey's hand as he left. You know what I mean? So it wasn't nothing heated. Like I said, you know, I've been getting high. I got high before. So when I looked at the guy, his eye, he was high. There's no excuse for what you did, high or not. I don't give a fuck what. There's no excuse for what you did. You know what I mean? The videotape is gonna tell that, you know, honestly, to this day, I've never fully watched the whole videotape. I still never watched the tape. I've only watched the part up until the point where shit started. The part that the police showed me when I was on the stand. So all the testimony that they read about me, I'm actually looking at a videotape, you know. So they're showing me a videotape and I'm recalling what's going on that day. So they got a videotape that the videotape tells it all. So my testimony is not going to make or break the case. My testimony, really, the reason that I'm going against the grain, the reason that I'm going against the street code and I'm getting on the stand, regardless of anybody got to say, is because I want the world to know that my boy never called that man no snitch. You know what I mean? That I'm gonna go against the grain because that make me seem like niggas is looking for justification. Like, oh, this nigga called him a snitch, so therefore he deserved. No, fuck that. My boy never called him no snitch. So and I'm not gonna rest to everybody know that, you know, whatever his reason for doing what he did, we don't know. Hopefully we can figure that out. I have no idea, but I know Nipsey never called him no snitch. So and that is what it is.
So take us back. So take us there. So it's the story that they have the altercation. Do you go inside, I guess, into the store and go eat at the time that Nipsey is you know, shot?
Yeah, so you know, we owned all those stores. So when you walk into the Marathon store, there's another door that takes you to the next store. Then there's another door that takes you to the next store. Then there's the break room. So literally, I can walk from the insurance company all the way to the fucking T-Mobile store without going outside. I can go from one building to the next building to the next building.
Okay.
So when I go in the Marathon store, I go through the Marathon store, that's the front door. You go behind the counter, that's the second door. You go in the break room, that's the third door. When the gunshots cracked off, I jump up immediately and I break out the door. I can't see who getting shot. I don't know who getting shot, but I hear gunshots and I know bro is out there. So I break out there immediately. So I run from 3 stores away and I'm the first nigga that got his hands on them. I'm the first nigga that ran out there and put my hands on them. He had a hole in his side. I'm covering him with blood and I'm praying for him. You know, so like I said, if I could have been closer, maybe I could have got action at running up on the dude. I never seen the dude other than him leaving off of the parking lot. When I broke out that door, I seen that motherfucker cutting the corner and I seen Nip on the ground. I ran straight to Nip, you know. So I can't testify and say I seen him shoot Nipsey because I didn't. I honestly did not see him shoot Nipsey. I still haven't even looked at the tape. You know, I've heard about the tape. I haven't sat there and looked at the tape. I don't want to look at the tape. You know, I don't want. You know, I'm not into seeing that type of shit.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I've seen bits and pieces that the police let me see as far as the trial, but anything as far as him shooting Nipsey and all that, you know, I could take a lie detector to test on that. I still ain't seen it. I still ain't looked at the tape. You know, it is what it is.
Speaking on the tape, obviously there was tape going around on the internet. We had the unfortunate I had been unfortunate to see that situation. Were there other tapes involved that the police had that the public didn't see?
Nah, there wasn't no tape. The only tape is that gas station tape. So
Okay.
you know, the gas station. You know, we had cameras in the store, but it was to watch the parking lot. It was to watch. It wasn't to watch the employees. It wasn't to watch people stealing. We didn't have that problem. We didn't have no worry about nobody stealing nothing. It was more or less we need to watch the parking lot, make sure the police ain't doing nothing stupid, make sure homies ain't out there fighting. You know, when you're just sitting in your shop and you're in the back room, you need to look out and see what's going on out on Slauson. What's going on, you know. So anytime something goes down in the neighborhood, what the police gonna do? They're gonna go to the closest shop and say, we need to look at your tapes.
Yeah.
So we never had tape. We never had tape. There's so much crime, you know, homies beating up homies in the parking lot. You might do something stupid, get slapped or something. So we didn't have tapes for that. We didn't have no videotapes for that reason as far as so even if they did have a videotape, say all the cameras were running and they were all recording, all it's gonna do is show a different version of what happened. We all seen what happened, you know. The videotape seen what happened. You understand? So no matter how many cameras was out there that day, it wasn't gonna change what happened.
Right now, how do you cope? You know, with because we are obviously see you getting emotional. How are you able to cope with seeing, you know, somebody that almost like your son, you know, almost or pass away, right? You know, in front of you. How you been able to cope since then? Or are you coping?
Man, I'm never gonna get over it, but you know,
Right.
I lost a lot of homies over the years. You know, we
Mhm.
lost Fats. Me and Nip, we still hadn't got over Fats. You know,
Mhm.
then for Nip to pass, so Fats passed, then Nip passed. 30 days after Nipsey passed, Dominique got stabbed in the parking lot. He died in the same parking lot.
Wow.
I watched all these youngsters grow up, and for me to watch him die, Dominique was 24, just came home from jail, and came to show his respect for Nip. Got stabbed, died right there in the parking lot. And it's the same shit, homie on homie shit. Ain't no enemy killing us. It's homies doing homies, niggas that you call your friend, niggas we grew up with. You know what I mean? So, uh, I've seen a lot of death out there. I've seen tourists get shot and gunned down.
Wow.
A lot of people died after Nipsey that you never seen. A lot of people then got gunned down right there, uh,
Wow.
uh, uh, beat up, stabbed. I done seen it all. You know, after Nip died, it got really worse. You know, we know the crazy people in our neighborhood. We watched them growing up. Then you had crazy people from all over the world popping up. You know, coming to just camp out.
Mhm.
You know, Nip was that big. You know, I'll be getting off on the side of the freeway, and the homeless guy say, "Hey, Cowboy, I looked at your interview or something." You know, it's like, wow, that's crazy. You know, that's how big Nip was. That he was that big that the world interested in me, want to know who I am. You know, just because I was his friend.